Morning. I just thought I'd share. This happens to be my sorting table. It's where I do what I call the 8 sort, and I bring in the bulk here. Typically, there's a bin here, but this was the end of it. I try to do one shoebox bin a day, about one of these every day. But this is the tail end of it. But here's where I call the A sort, and I take this whole mess here and start separating them out into categories. You can start seeing that there are some categories here. Is the 1 by the 2 by plates, and the 2 by bricks, and the 1 by bricks. And we got slopes. As we kind of move through, we got a little bit of technique here. We got the lift beams, and then this right here is anything that's like a connector or an end for like an axle. These are all pins for here. Here I got everything that's like a modified plate technique, just odds and ends. Anything that's an angle goes here. Now these are kind of like dots and details and stuff like that, so I'll sort those out later. And then here, just actually has 2 items, and this one is basically the barrels and cones and so forth and so on. Yeah, this right here has nothing but gear. So this is kind of like my A sort. Then back here, I got a pile of just miscellaneous, but as this pile gets a little larger, I'll start pulling out light pipes out of here. There's some good stuff I can pull out and start listing, which would be a great deal. Some minifigures back there, but anyway, so it does go from there. It goes over to here whenever I get one of these bins full of each of those categories, and then I process those. And I have an order about ready to pull, so let me set that up and we'll talk about that. So since I'm done with once I get done with A sort, I start kind of doing B sort, or kind of like 8.5 sort. I have all my plates that go up here. I got individual pieces. I got arcs and some bricks and tiles, and there's some of the cones. Here, some bricks, and then on the other side of the aisle here, I have, these are kind of like what I call lists now. They're kind of printed, or some parts that I would like to get listed right away. But anyway, so we got some more pins and axles here. We've got just parts. As each of these get full, then I can start separating them out. This right here is like technique, a little of everything. And then a few other areas, like these are all like 1 by bricks. These are all tons of 2 by plates. These are some tiles. Got some wheels. These are all slopes. They're all kind of in different sizes. There's a 4 by, more 4 by, 2 by, 1 by. So kind of breaking them all down. Here's all kind of wedge plates. Anything that's round plates are here. Some more tile. Anything that's 2 by, I think these are all like either jumpers or just 2 by plates, 1 by plates, so forth and so on. And here's an order I'm about ready to pull. This come from Andres out of California. It's 425 items, 140 lots, kind of a medium-sized order. But I appreciate that, Andres, and I am pulling your order now. I'm going to point those to my cups here in a minute and start pulling the orders. I typically do small batches at a time when I do an order. there's 55 containers here, and then I'll whenever I pull the order, I'll pull them, and then I set the marker that I pulled those, and then at the end of each little batch of 55, I'll mark them. I'll go back up the list and double check those, make sure they went, got bagged and accounted for. Basically, it's a double check. But I'll set the camera up here and I'll do that time lapse. All right, now that I got that part of the order pulled, again, that's like 55 lots out of the 140, so that's a good chunk. I'll go back through and verify the quantities on each one as I bag, and then that will empty each of these out. And then I move on to the next batch of 55, so just be less than 3 of those, 3 of these batches, and the whole order will be done. I did run across one issue here. I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up or not, but I guess it is. These should be all dark blue, and I see at least a couple of dark, or it should be dark bluish gray, but I see 1, 2, 3 dark gray in there. So I need to redo this tray. So I'm just going to set it off to the side, and I'll recount that down. Next, I'll move on to the bagging of the order. Thanks.